Abercrombie denim is everything right now. Denim should feel like this. Confident, easy, like your butt has never looked better. If you didn't know, Abercrombie's Curve Love denim went viral in 2019 for eliminating waist gap, and it's still a game changer. Between that and their classic fits with a straighter line from waist to hip, the perfect denim does exist. Shop Abercrombie denim in the app, online, and in store.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This is Optimal Living Daily, Forming New Habits, Trained to be an Amateur, Not an Expert, by Nir Eyal and Charles Wang with nireyal.com, and I'm Justin Malik. We're going to jump right into today's post as we optimize your life. Forming New Habits, Trained to be an Amateur, Not an Expert, by Nir Eyal and Charles Wang with nireyal.com. Today's top-selling books are about how to acquire world-class skill. Daniel Coyle's The Talent Code looks at how deliberate practice is required to achieve greatness. Joshua 4 shows us how we must smash past performance plateaus to be any good. Worse, Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour series is doing for hipsters what crash diets do for teenage girls, making promises of quick transformations. These authors' methods work, yet they are all dead wrong. They focus on techniques used by the very best in a field. But what about the other 99% of us? I bet your goals sound a lot more like, I wish I could lose a few pounds, or I'd like to save money, rather than, I want to win the US Open, or I wish I was a billionaire. But authors focus myopically on the techniques used by notable greats, because we all assume the great ones have discovered a secret, which, if we only knew, would ensure our success as well. Implying you know the secret sells a lot of books, but there are no secrets, and what makes a Steve Jobs or a Michael Jordan is not going to help you lose that spare tire around your waist. Instead of wishing you could be like Mike, you need to focus on and enjoy the small, everyday tasks in order to accomplish those long-standing, stubborn goals, such as, I need to exercise more. In short, you need to become an amateur. An amateur is a consistent practitioner of a healthful habit. The amateur practices a behavior because they enjoy it and it becomes part of their identity. Like a runner who can't wait to hit the road, or a vegetarian who prefers the taste of the food she eats, amateurs practice their behaviors for the love of the activity and require no willpower to make choices others see as difficult. Just imagine that. Amateurs gain pleasure by doing things others find difficult. What could you accomplish if you enjoyed doing the things you need to do, the things you know are good for you but you dread doing? Unfortunately, you'll never see a New York Times bestseller titled, How to Become an Amateur. But in order to have the things we want in life, that's exactly the methodology we need to learn. First, I should mention that these techniques are for forming new habits, not breaking old ones. Next, recognize that there are two distinct modes for acquiring habits, an amateur mode and the expert mode. Becoming an amateur is about going from doing nothing or very little to forming a consistent behavior. Changing our behavior to consistently exercise, eat right, save money, or more fully enjoy time with our family requires forming new habits, which over time give us what we want. In fact, even goals such as consistently exercising and eating right are too big for the budding amateur. You have to break them down into much smaller actions to form new habits. In the graph in this post, I define the stages of acquiring skill over time. Starting from a point of little skill, we reach a point where we make a decision to start on a journey. This initially sounds something like, I really need to work out more. But this initial thought needs to be broken down into an easily achievable behavior if we are to become amateurs. To begin forming new habits, we need to find an MEA, a minimal enjoyable action. An MEA is a behavior which is so easy and enjoyable that we do it virtually without effort. And most importantly, we can do it consistently. Our MEA, as we begin the journey to a healthy lifestyle, might be, I'm going to walk for 3 minutes each day. In the process of regularly doing our MEA, we not only build skill, but we strengthen our willpower. Studies have demonstrated that rewarding your brain with small success experiences builds willpower over time. Once the MEA turns into a habit, it allows for expansion in slightly more advanced behaviors, such as walking for a few minutes more or increasing the pace. Through consistent practice of the MEA, both skill and willpower are increased until doing what once seemed difficult becomes easy. Soon, the amateur is running several miles per day, accomplishing his goal of living a more healthful life. Over time, we reach what Ford calls the OK plateau, a stage where our skills don't measurably improve, but we continue to practice. For most of us, the OK plateau is better than OK, it's just peachy. It's here where we are exercising regularly, enjoying ourselves, and leading happier lives, having formed new healthful habits. Some people aren't satisfied with being amateurs, and they make a decision to become experts. Most of us are already striving to become an expert in some aspect of our lives, and I would propose that we can truly only become experts in one, maybe two fields. Becoming an expert requires deliberate practice, competition, and performance goals. It is here that teachers of expert methodologies such as Covey, Foer, and Coyle can be very helpful. It's important to recognize the different techniques used in these two distinct modes of acquiring skill and recognize that doing them in the wrong order leads to failure. Relying on rigid goals and competition before you've established the skill and willpower needed to sustain it will lead to burnout and self-loathing. Instead of looking for fixes and bestsellers, understand how to engineer your behavior by recognizing the methodology of becoming an amateur. As an amateur, you can ditch the need to push yourself to exhaustion and instead create habits that you do almost effortlessly. Consistently and enjoyably practicing these habits makes all the difference in a life well lived. You just listened to the post titled Forming New Habits, Trained to be an Amateur, Not an Expert by Nir Eyal and Charles Wang with nirandfar.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Thank you to Instacart. I'm always looking for ways to streamline my life, and after the relaxed pace of summer, settling back into a routine can be overwhelming, especially with meal prep. This is where the convenience and quality of Instacart are a total game changer. With just a few taps, I can get everything for my weekly meals with delivery via Instacart in as fast as 30 minutes. The service has always been reliable for me, and I trust the experienced shoppers to pick fresh, high-quality ingredients just as I would. It's a seamless way Instacart helps to deliver my essentials, freeing me up to focus on my wellness instead of spending time on errands. Instacart brings convenience, quality, and ease right to your door so you can focus on what matters most. Download the Instacart app and use code OPTIMAL20 to get $20 off your first order of $80 or more. That's code OPTIMAL20 to get $20 off your first order of $80 or more. Offer valid for a limited time. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Thank you to Nir and guest author Charles. I like how they made a distinction between amateur mode and the expert mode. We see these world-class performers and think we have to copy their intense 8-hour-a-day routines from day one. And like the article says, that's just a recipe for burnout. Most of us aren't trying to be Michael Jordan. We're just trying to be a little bit better than we were yesterday. I think it comes down to the idea of minimal, enjoyable action. It's about making the starting line so easy to cross that you can't help but do it. It's like the idea of flossing only one tooth. Sounds ridiculous because it kind of is. We can't have an excuse for that. It's almost too easy. But that just gets us to start the action. And then once we're doing that consistently, well, then we're not fighting with willpower anymore. So baby steps as usual. Take those baby steps today. Thank you for being here and listening every day. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.